Alrighty, good afternoon, everyone. I hope you are well. Thank you for joining today's webinar. I'm Sarah Tatum from Provident CRM. I'm one of the sales executives here, and today we are joined by Tim Gale of Sugar CRM.
Hello, thank you, Sarah. Lovely to be here. And yeah, as Sarah said, working here at Sugar. I have been here now for about 7-8 years, worked on many projects with Sarah and the team at Provident. So very intrigued and excited to spend the next sort of 40 minutes with you, just talking you through the sales, service and marketing components. Thank you for joining us.
Excellent. Thanks, Tim. Okay, so firstly, just quickly running through some housekeeping items. We will share the slides with everybody that's registered and attended. We'll also send a recording of this session within the next day, and there will be a survey at the end of this session. So please do provide us with any feedback so that we can learn how to improve these webinars, really understand the material you all want to see. And also feel free to drop any questions in the Q&A box, and we will answer them all by the end of this session. Okay.
So now that you know who we are, we obviously just want to understand a little bit about yourselves. So if you can just take the time quickly to complete this poll and tell us whether you work in sales, marketing, service or other. And it just helps us, as I've said, understand who our audience is today.
Yeah, excellent. Okay, I can see we have some people completing. Oh, there's another one. Come on, there's a few more here. Okay, we'll end this poll in just a second. Great, thank you everyone for participating in that. Okay, so moving on, we have the agenda for today, and this is what we're going to be taking a look at. So the first section is how to engage the market to grow, conducting business effectively. We'll do a quick summary, and then of course we will take the time to answer any questions you may have asked throughout the webinar. Okay, so just a little bit here about Provident CRM. We've been a partner of Sugar CRM since 2007. In 2014, we became an elite partner, and we've managed to retain that status ever since. We are purely focused on delivering customer success. We've got a team of experts working daily with customer experience processes, including sales, marketing, automation, and customer services. Okay. So just to have a quick overview of the services that we offer to support any Sugar CRM implementation, we'll work closely to understand your requirements so that we can determine the best implementation strategy. We'll configure and adapt the platform and any associated products to meet the requirements discovered in the consulting phase. We can also integrate Sugar CRM with most third-party softwares using Sugar's unlimited APIs. And then, of course, once those phases are done, we'll design and facilitate the training around your specific implementation, focusing on your business processes and how your users will be using Sugar CRM. So let's get started with the presentation for today. We're going to be looking at the formula for marketing, sales and service. So let's first of all look at aligning your customer-facing teams.
Excellent. So Lumina Health. So Lumina Health is actually a made-up company, but based on our sort of knowledge of many conversations with organisations and understanding typical pain points, we thought we'd sort of create an imaginary organisation that suffers from pain such as blind spots. So what are blind spots? So this is where organisations don't know enough about their customers. So they struggle with personalisation, struggle with segmentation. Sales reps don't know if they're unhappy and they're trying to sell into them. I'm sure that's a pain point many of us have experienced themselves, even in our personal lives. You also have disjointed and inconsistent customer journeys and experience because, again, data's in silos and different stakeholders don't know maybe who else has spoken to the customer at different times. Furthermore, you could also have poor SLA management, again, because you haven't got the necessary business processes in place. Organizations also have busy work. What do we mean by busy work? This is where a lot of our activities are manual. So, for example, reporting is sort of built-in Excel spreadsheets. You can have emails sent as communication and reminders rather than automated tasks. You can end up having sales and service reps spending a lot more time doing manual activities rather than actually spending their time, which they should be doing, is engaging with customers. You also increase the likelihood of human error. So these are the pain points that we come across on a regular basis, and some of the pain points that Lumina Health had before engaging with Sugar. And finally, roadblocks. Roadblocks can be legacy systems that are heavily customized and therefore cannot scale, could be cost prohibitive, could have hidden costs through API calls or custom fields. You can also have, if organizations like Lumina Health had many different contracts in place, then of course, that creates additional complexities around negotiations and managing of the software, which can be a bit of a nightmare for IT, with of course data hosted in different places. So these are the typical challenges that we face day to day, and this is why Lumina Health, in our use case today, chose to work with Sugar CRM. So Lumina Health, who are they? They're a high-tech manufacturer. And many of their customer-facing employees are working from home, like we all do today, or many of us do today, which again creates those challenges around collaboration and communication, which is the benefit of having that single platform. So what do Lumina Health do? Well, they have leveraged, or do leverage in our imaginary world, Sugar Market, Sugar Sell, and Sugar Serve. So by delivering a consistent and single user experience across the entire customer journey for obviously end users in-house at Lumina, it creates high levels of user adoption, which in turn improves data accuracy. And we all know that it doesn't matter how good the system is, if you don't have the user adoption, you'll struggle to get the data out of it. And organizations are making data-led decisions today. So if you have platforms that are not talking to each other and challenging data, you'll struggle to make those decisions. Furthermore, you've got a seamless transition of data intelligence and customer touch points across the entire customer journey. This is really important to retain customers and make them feel as though they're the center, they're the focal point, that Lumina Health really understand who they are. And of course, in today's world, everyone's competitive. Everyone wants to offer a better experience than their competition. And this is where technology can become an enabler. And today we're going to spend the next half hour or 20 minutes or however long it takes based on your engagements as well, just to tell you or share with you some of our best practices and insights to ascertain how a single platform really can add value to your business.
Great, thanks, Tim. Okay, so moving on to engaging the market to grow. So the first step here is engaging the market to grow. We're going to do an overview here. So Lumina Health don't have a big marketing team, but they've got a great tool set within the platform that really does do a lot of the work for them. So they can make decisions about what they want to do, what they think the right path is for the particular audience, and what they should experience from a marketing standpoint. So if and when someone arrives at their website and asks for more information around the tools or certain products that they sell, they can put them in a distinct nurture path where they can begin to receive even more relevant content. By doing this, they get a better understanding of the interest. So doing so enables them to quickly respond to their needs, regardless of the avenue in which they've made it to their site, whether that was coming in through a landing page or a social media post or organically. However they arrive, they can have these decisions pre-made, so what they receive or how Lumina respond is automated. Lumina Health can also leverage predictive lead scoring to quickly identify which leads to send the sales teams and which to include in nurture campaigns. Furthermore, Market's toolset eliminates the busy work by automatically capturing customer information and syncing that data to its corresponding record in the CRM. This will provide the sales team with real-time, actionable intelligence that they can leverage for their own outreach. So Sugar Market is used to quickly build attractive forms that are embedded directly in the Lumina website to encourage visitors to register for events, inquire about products, and view information assets such as demonstration videos. Sugar Market helps the marketing team maintain opt-in and opt-out requests, which of course will comply with the local privacy laws. The Sugar Market Nurture Builder is what makes it possible to deliver on the promise of continuous engagement. The builder can orchestrate individualized campaigns that delivers a message on a defined timeline. It can react to recipients' responses and funnel them into a specific branch that has been tailored for people just like them. This is truly letting the platform do the work. So Sugar Market provides 2 levels of lead scoring. So the first one, at Lumina Health, their marketing team has assigned a point system that accumulates a score over time based on what the customer has clicked or what content they've engaged with. The second method is Sugar Market's artificial intelligence interest indicator. This looks at the engagement activities and compares to previously converted leads. Lumina receives accurate prediction of the lead's likelihood of converting them to marketing qualified leads. The system looks at many factors and automatically determines what is an indicator of true interest. This also eliminates any guesswork from the sales team because they now have the predictive insights to know which leads to focus their time and their energy on. Lumina Health's market team collaborates very closely with their sales team. So they learned that when they're able to work effectively with the sales team, the results are better for everyone. The ability for Sugar Market to share the full customer engagement history with the sales reps does make a big difference. Since they now have the visibility into what marketing has sent to those leads and know what content they've shown interest in, they can leverage those engagement insights to make their conversations more meaningful when they're reaching out to their leads. It's more than just the history though. The reps can also use the templates that the marketing team has approved to send out emails, and they can also add any leads or contacts that they're talking to nurture campaigns directly from within the CRM to correspond with market.
Great stuff. Thank you, Sarah. So conducting business effectively. What do we mean by this? Well, first and foremost, the transition between marketing and sales really must be 2 things: simple and in real time. By doing this, you're going to deliver, you're going to ensure that marketing and sales teams are aligned on common objectives in terms of KPIs, of course, whether that's sort of obviously lead conversion rates, ultimately the sales cycle, all of those sort of KPIs that are important for each department to measure. And if sales are successful, it means marketing is successful and vice versa. So this is where the importance of those 2 departments are in place. So as Sarah alluded to, leads are prioritized and can be automatically allocated to sales reps. So as she highlighted, from a point scoring perspective, that may mean that Sugar Market holds that lead back until they hit a certain threshold, then they go through. And at that point, they're an MQL being assigned to a particular sales rep or account manager. Of course, these leads can be routed based on different variables that you decide as a business, or Lumina, for example, may have territories. You also have the AI, as we've highlighted, for guidance. And more importantly, the real value piece here is that when the leads do move across from the marketing tool into the sales tool, you're starting to educate the sales reps around why that lead has been created, what is the journey they've been on, what history. So if we move on to the next slide, they will tell you a little bit more about how that works. Okay, so the AI component that you can see here is sort of underpinned by algorithms. It's fully baked across the Sugar platform. For the sales component, it's going to help sales reps, business development managers, any customer-facing sort of commercial-led role to be more effective, be more efficient, because the system's going to be doing the work for you. It's going to tell you which leads you should be prioritizing on. Anyone in sales is commission-based, and therefore you want to make sure that which leads should I be speaking to, which ones are most likely to convert, which opportunities are most likely to close. This is where Sugar's AI is going to help you to do that, and therefore focusing on business value. This is where, again, we talk about no busy work, where you're having to spend a lot of time maybe qualifying leads in more detail before actually taking to the next stage. The system's doing a lot of that for you. So again, enabling you to maybe invest your time and effort in more conversations with customers. If you're having more meaningful conversations on a daily basis, you're ultimately going to be able to engage with customers and therefore be more successful as an organization. So again, speaking to the prospects about the right information at the right time is very much letting the platform do the work.
Excellent. Next.
So I highlighted earlier about the transition from the data that is held within Sugar Market and then how that is reflected in the sales tool. And as any well-known sales individual, the more information they have about who they're speaking to, the more comfortable they feel. And most importantly, we haven't used the word yet today, but personalized. So this is where you can start to personalize your engagement. Maybe you want to try and set up a meeting because you know what they've been looking at prior to them becoming a lead in the system. You can actually maybe include a little bit of an additional content that is relevant to them. That's going to help with a hook to have the meeting and make that individual feel as though you really truly understand who they are. And we know that a very high percentage of buying decisions are made before a salesperson even gets involved. So this is where if the marketing team have been able to segment and personalize engagement correctly, but then ensure that the sales rep also has that consistent, seamless handoff on that data, that's really going to increase the likelihood of that organization either winning that new customer, or in this case, Lumina may be growing one of their core accounts. So whilst, of course, it's important to educate sales people on who they're talking to, at the same time, it's important to make their lives easier. And we've already touched on the no busy work piece. And what you're looking at here is two components of Sugar that is very, very popular with many of our customers. So on the left, you see the front end, the end user facing customer journey tool. Now, this customer journey tool can be defined by a number of, you can build out this journey tool to reflect your internal sales process. You can have a different journey for a different product or a different journey for a different type of customer. This journey tool sits anywhere within the platform and is underpinned through the back-end process management tool called Sugar BPM, which you can see here is a drag and drop rules-based engine that factors in any custom fields and inclusive of integrations as well. And one particular use case that we see a lot of our customers today taking advantage of is automating account health status. And the real value of that, of course, if an account status is, for example, poor for whatever reason, the system's going to tell you. And I've heard in the past organizations say the customers who don't bother us are our best customers. That's the most concerning customer. But if the system's telling you that there's the health status is poor, that's going to give you an opportunity to actually proactively engage with that account. Vice versa, if you've got account status of very, very healthy, very happy as an account manager, then you know that they are quite possibly best placed to purchase more products or services. So this is the real value of Sugar from a journey perspective, and where you're starting to automate processes and empower those sales reps and account managers. We also have an integration with Amazon Connect called Sugar Live. And if you just pop onto the next slide, please, Sarah.
Sorry.
Yeah, no problem. And what this native sort of component of the Sugar tool enables inbound chat, or obviously inbound, outbound chat sat on your website, as well as calls as well, to create a omni-channel experience for your customers. And in the world today, we are creating a consumerized, or I would say customer experiences are heavily consumerized. So we all now have desires for instant gratification, as really it's Uber, be it Deliveroo, be it Netflix, whatever these sort of digital services are. And now we're taking that into the business world. And this is where it's really imperative, and not a differentiator now, but it's more of a expectation for omni-channel. And this is where Sugar Live really does help sales reps and customer service agents, as Sarah will move on to in a second, be able to immediately understand who they're talking to, why they're talking to them, what is the background of this individual. As you can see on the screen here, the screen pops up and gives you all the information you desire on the right-hand side of your screen, so you can ensure that you're reducing the resolution time. Of course, in the sales process, you may be increasing the likelihood of actually being able to sell to that individual. So that's very much some of the key points to make around the sales component. But of course, the value is by having a complete platform. It also helps the customer service team, which Sarah's going to spend a few minutes talking to you about as well.
Excellent. Thanks, Tim. Okay. So we are now moving on to servicing the customer. So the elements that we're going to be looking at now are what is in the Sugar Serve product. So having a look at this here. So this is Lumina's service footprint. So as you can see, customers may contact the Lumina support team in a variety of different ways, okay, such as the phone, email, website, customer portal, chatbot. So the challenge of this image, looking at this right now, is it feels like perhaps if you were a customer looking at this image, that you'll be handed off between so many different departments to get to the one single department that you really want to speak to. I had a really good example of that this morning, actually. I was calling a particular company to speak to a department, and I think I had to go through 4 departments over the space of 25 minutes before I got to speak to somebody I needed to. So, you know, looking at this here, it kind of resonates with my experience this morning. So just having a look here. Okay, so this is an example of, you know, a seamless handoff. So here's all of the possible ways possible ways of that particular customer contacting that can be centralized into a single process. So looking at this particular example here, we can see that there is an incoming call or a chat message. And because it's already a customer of Lumina's, they're able to start with a personalized greeting. So Sugar knows this by recognizing the contact's phone number. So as we can see here, we've had the call, personalized greeting, and then we can see that the JLo is complaining that there is an issue with the DNA sequencer that she purchased, and it needs fixing. So at that particular point, you know, that the agent and the CRM knows exactly which department this call needs to be transferred to. So she's transferred to an agent who can help with this immediately, of which the call is dynamically routed based on the intent, skill, account, or escalation level. So as we can see, as part of the next step, immediately the next agent offers an appointment, asks her for a suitable time. The appointment is booked, and then it's automatically routed to an engineer. And at this point in the CRM, we are capturing a number of different, you know, different parts of information here. We're looking at the call being logged, a case being created, and obviously we're going to monitor that case through the SLAs, and we're looking at the repair that's being scheduled, as well as all of the call sentiment analysis, which is using Sugar Live. So there's a lot of information just captured from that one single phone call, but it's automatically dispersing it to the right departments. So now this is what a Lumina service agent will see when they get an incoming call or a chat. It's designed for efficiency and minimal clicks, so the agent can, of course, stay focused on the customer. So what we're looking at here is the Sugar Serve dashboard. Okay, so this is, you know, the screen that the agent is in. On the left part of the screen, this is the Sugar Live aspect. So we can see that the agent is online, so they can toggle if they're on or offline to accept incoming calls or incoming chat messages. When an incoming call or a chat message comes in, if the customer is recognized, you'll see then that the middle part of the screen will bring up the customer, and of course any related cases that may already be there. And then on the right hand side of the screen, that's there to help the agent. So there's the knowledge base. So the knowledge base is an area within Sugar where you can, you know, store how-to articles and, you know, instructions. So the agent can simply just do a quick search for DNA sequencer code error, and then the relevant article will pop up and actually help the agent resolve that call. Or it could be an article that, you know, is pushed out to the customer to do a self-serve fix, for example. So I mentioned earlier about call sentiments. So Sugar Live, both for sell and serve, is inclusive of sentiment analysis. So by leveraging the AI embedded into transcripts, organizations like Lumina can track how conversations are trending through the reporting analysis. This, of course, helps management quickly gauge a feel of a customer satisfaction level when dealing with their service teams. So Sugar is doing the work here by sharing important data to management for data-led decision making. So as you can see here, you know, we have a sad face, neutral face, happy face, and it's the AI that's doing that call sentiment analysis there. Okay, over to you, Tim, for
Yeah, thank you for that. So in addition, and just to sort of wrap everything up again around how the sugar serve world is very similar to the sales world, but obviously slightly different. However, of course, it's consistent. And I think that's a really key message to deliver today. You can see that you can design the visual guides. So Lumina teams, for example, stay on top of case escalations. So we have an escalations module now in sugar. Rather than just relying on cases and SLAs, which is a fairly standard process, you can also actually escalate a specific escalation module to ensure that cases are reaching the correct individuals to get resolved as quickly as possible. And again, like Sarah said earlier, personal circumstances, the amount of times I've been ringing up energy companies, even some car dealerships, certainly the internet companies, and the time it takes to get something answered or resolved can be incredibly painful. And this is where the world of B2B have to adapt and evolve and respond to the demands of what consumers have today and therefore what businesses have. So the impact of this, the positive impact, of course, is that Lumina customers are now very happy. Since Lumina introduced sugar, there's a consistent experience for these customers. They feel that they are the heart of the process. They feel that every account manager truly understands who they are. They know that cases are getting resolved quickly. They can view what's happening with their cases or their tickets, however you wish to word it, in the customer facing portal as well. So they've got that transparency, and they feel that that they have trust in Lumina as a partner, as a business partner. And this, of course, as I alluded to, will help with loyalty, and loyalty obviously stems to revenue growth and additional spend. So that's a real value add. And one point to just highlight here, so obviously sugar in-house, we use Sugar Serve. And since we introduced the processes, what you're looking at here, the process designer, some of our support team follow certain journeys for SLAs. We've had an NPS score in-house now for the last 3 years of over 90, something we're very proud of. And this is something that we're seeing a lot of our customers are seeing dramatic improvements on their NPS as well. So I think it's a key point to highlight there.
Thanks, Tim.
Just handing back to Sarah on the field service piece.
Excellent, thank you. Okay, so if I can move the slide on, there we go. So our field service module streamlines scheduling, route planning, and automated communications to the customers. So now you can schedule hundreds of appointments in a day in a single interface. Advanced heuristics such as distance, time, cost, skills, and exceptions can all be factored in to optimize your schedule. You can also fill in the important appointments first and then have the AI engine fill in the rest, which you can of course adjust. You can manage direct employees or contractors or even third parties, ensuring that they have the skills and the certifications required to perform the work that's needed. Fortunately, the field operations team can push updated knowledge, work orders, and checklists to their field, automating what sounds like a lot of paperwork. With the field service mobile app, technicians know where they're going and what needs to be done. They can generate repair quotes and estimates, get customer approvals, locate spare parts, scan barcodes, and collect signatures, all from one single app. This makes it very easy to create a seamless experience for the customer while orchestrating the complexities of handoffs, inventories, scheduling, and knowledge. Lumina's Service Manager sees a simple configurable dashboard. They can easily track their key initiatives and metrics. Each team has a consistent view of what metrics are important for their piece of the business and how they roll up to create customer success, making it easy to move between the detail and that bigger picture. And this is, some of you may already be using Sugar at the moment. As you know, that the dashboards are very configurable. You can add on the data that's relevant to you, but there are a number of the dashboards and dashlets that come off the shelf, and these ones we're looking at here is what's already in Sugar for the Sugar Serve piece. Okay, we have a poll.
Excellent. Yeah, so just before we wrap everything up, one last poll, just to check you're still awake and with us. If you could just maybe click the button which you think is most applicable to your business. All answers are anonymous, of course, but again, it just helps us get a feel for what's out there. If everybody clicks very well aligned, then I think Sarah and I probably need to retire.
Yeah. No, I would have to agree with you there. So we'll just leave that on for another couple of seconds. I can see the majority of you have completed. There we go. There's another. Okay. Perfect. Thank you for taking part in that. So, oh, it's kind of taken over my screen. Right, that's gone. Perfect. So, the key takeaways from today's session. I will pass over to Tim to go through these next 2 slides.
Excellent. I've just lost my headphones. Thank you very much, Sarah. Thank you very much, everybody, again. And these are some of the key sort of headlines that we want to leave with you today. So, in our imaginary world of Lumina, by introducing the 3 core components of sugar, sell, serve, and market, Lumina managed to remove their data silos that were previously in place. Customers then began to receive more consistent end-to-end journeys and experiences through a seamless handoff of touch points and data share. Lumina end users are also empowered now with all business critical information in a single view, as you've seen with some of the screenshots, to make more informed decisions. Adoption levels have dramatically increased because it's a consistent user experience, it's a modern user experience, and therefore through those increasing adoption levels, data accuracy has improved as well from a reporting perspective, enabling more data-led decision-making, and of course, management trusting that data as well. We've seen improvements of Lumina customers through loyalty, retention increases, complaints have gone down, and other notable trends through aligning sales and service teams. Marketing is more personalized through enhancements around segmentation. So the messaging that's going out is the right type of message or product or service being promoted to the right customer or prospect through the right channel at the right time. And that can only happen through accurate data and the ability to segment. And of course, in turn, that's going to help with qualification, so lead qualification or multi-point conversion ratios, reducing sales cycles, reducing, increasing win ratios, reducing loss ratios, understanding why you're winning, understanding why you're losing. And finally, obviously, the Lumina sales teams have seen greater up and cross-sell opportunities, again, through having a better understanding of who those customers are, what products have they bought, what services have they purchased, which products and services are being recommended to them in-house to maybe go ahead and promote, and then giving a sales rep the opportunity for him or her to maybe actually add them to a particular nurture campaign. And that's something else you can do when the systems are so integrated. So wrapping up, what is our vision? What is our goal? How are we helping organizations today? So you can see no blind spots, no busy work, no roadblocks. Let the platform do the work. And what do we mean by that? So, for example, organizations like Lumina, we remove customer blind spots and help them to improve their customers' experiences. We help Lumina to remove busy work and therefore create greater efficiencies across the business. And we help Lumina to remove roadblocks and therefore deliver a future-proof customer experience platform. So thank you very much, everybody, for taking the time to join us. We hope you found the session insightful, informative. For those who already work with Sugar, thank you very much. Hopefully there's some elements of today that you are also interested in. So obviously Sarah and the team will be delighted to speak to you about. I'm also available. And for those who don't work with Sugar, we'll be absolutely delighted to have a conversation and learn more about your business, understand any particular challenges you're facing today, and therefore try and find and see if we can help find a solution to those. So thank you very much.
Excellent. Thank you, Tim. Okay, so now we can take some time to answer any questions. I can see we've had some questions come in for the Q&A box. If you do have a question and you haven't put it in yet, please do so now. So I'll just start with a couple that I can see here right now. So the first one here being, can the field service scheduling interface handle cancellations and rescheduling during the same day? Tim, do you want that one?
Yes, I can tackle that one. And the short answer is yes. The slightly longer answer is that it's a dynamic platform that responds to changes in the scheduling and any new sort of requirements that are coming in. And again, using the business process automation tool at the back end, it will automatically make the necessary changes, then of course inform the end users, those field service agents who are out on the road and need to be notified accordingly.
Thank you. Okay, and the second question here, is Sugar offered in the cloud?
Yes, we do have an on-premise solution, but like all software, yeah, absolutely in the cloud, hosted on AWS, SOC 2 compliant, data centers here in the UK, also a couple across Europe. But not only do we just host on AWS, Sugar CRM actually has a strategic relationship with AWS, and therefore, in addition to Sugar Live, for example, or Amazon Connect, there's a whole host of other technologies which I'm sure your IT department would be interested in, that we can leverage as part of our strategic relationship.
Absolutely, thank you. Okay, just a couple more now. Is Sugar accessible on a mobile device? Yes, it is. Sugar does come with an app for Android and iOS devices. It's in the relative Play and App stores. And also it has offline connectivity. So not a lot of people know that, but the app does come with offline connectivity as well, in case you are, in the middle of nowhere or you have no signal. Next question, Tim, I'm going to push this one over to you, is does a user need to have access to the entire platform?
No. So you can purchase modules separately. Obviously, as we've key message today is we've encouraged you to sort of go for the entire platform, because it sort of aligns those three core key divisions. But of course, you don't necessarily need to have all users on every module in Sugar. So it's a pretty flexible commercial model. I mean, it's a pretty flexible system as well in terms of roles and permissions and determining access of what people can and can't see and what people can and can't do. But from a commercial standpoint, again, you don't need to have everybody on the platform, and it's very much molding a commercial model around your business. So our platform fits around your business processes and also fits around your commercial budget and what your demands are. So the short answer is no, and I gave you the slightly longer answer as well.
Thanks, Tim. Okay, so yeah, that's the questions we had. No more questions coming in here. Okay, so again, I'd just really like to thank everybody for joining today. If you do want to have a chat with myself or Tim, then feel free to book a free discovery call. As we are speaking, in the chat box is a link to my calendar, so find a slot that suits, and I'd be happy to have a conversation about how you're doing things now, if there are elements that could be improved, and if you're happy to, I'd be more delighted to do a bespoke demonstration for you of Sugar, just to show you Sugar in your world. So yeah, thank you very much everybody for joining. We look forward to the next session. Thank you, Tim, for co-hosting with us, and
you're welcome.
Yeah, we'll look forward to speaking with you all at some point soon. Thank you
very much. Cheers. Bye-bye.
Bye.